Hello everyone. Stage 3 is going to be about parsing this table within individual state HTML pages in order to extract useful information. We are going to get started by defining a function called state underscore stats. This function is going to include a parameter called path. We are going to pass as argument the path to the downloaded local copy of the state HTML file. Let me invoke state underscore stats function, and I'm going to pass as argument state underscore files of Wisconsin so that we can parse the Wisconsin.html file over here. I'm just displaying path for now from inside the function definition, so we are able to see the corresponding path for Wisconsin.html file. I'm going to create a dictionary called stats, which is going to keep track of all of those keys and values within the Wisconsin page. We are going to use Beautiful Soup one more time to do this particular parsing. The first step is going to be about creating object instance. So I'm going to type Beautiful Soup. Recall that you'll have to pass two arguments. The second argument is always going to be html.parser string. The first argument here needs to be the content of the downloaded copy of the HTML file. So I'm going to first of all read the contents of the downloaded copy using open function call. I'm going to pass path as argument. I don't have to specify the mode because R is the default mode and we'll be able to use that to read the contents of the HTML file. I'm going to specify the argument to encoding parameter as UTF-8 because if you're running this code on Windows, you'll need to mention this. Let me go ahead and invoke the close function call right away. In between, I'm just going to use the read function using the file object instance variable reference, which is F here. Let me capture the return value into a variable called HTML string. The HTML string variable is going to become the first argument to the Beautiful Soup object instantiation constructor function call. Let me capture the return value into a variable called doc. What I want to be able to find within the DOM tree here is this particular table structure which has individual rows. So I'm just going to find all of the TR rows here. I know that that's the only table, so I can directly look for the TR rows by typing doc.find underscore all of TR. Let me capture the return value into a variable called TRS, which stands for multiple TRs. I'm going to write a for loop to iterate over the individual TRs. For now, let me just display type of TR and TR directly. Observe that we are getting individual document element tag as the type of TR and you're getting the TR tag over here. Every TR tag is going to contain a pair of TH and TD tags. We are only interested in pairs of those tags because we want both the key and the corresponding interesting value. So I'm going to show you how you can find pairs of tags within each of the TR tag over here. Let me comment out the last print function call. You can use the find all function on TR by typing tr.find underscore all. Instead of passing one string element as argument, we can pass a list of string elements. I could say the list items here to be th and td. That will ensure that we are able to extract only the pairs of tags where we have the relevant table header information for the table data, which is going to be individual cells within each of the rows inside that table. Let me capture the return value into a variable called cells. For now, I'm going to display len of cells here. Observe that we are getting cells which only have of length 1. We don't want to process those and we want to stick to processing the cells variable which only have length 2, which have the key value format. Let me go ahead and write an if condition here that's going to check that len of cells equal to 2. Once we determine that we have the key and the value, I'm going to extract the key by saying cells of 0. that will extract the entire element itself. If I want just the text within that element, I'll have to invoke the get underscore text function call. Similarly, I'm going to say value equal to cells of one dot get underscore text open parenthesis close parenthesis. I'm going to push the key value pair into the variable which is the dictionary variable to keep track of the stats. The dictionary key is going to be the key that we extract from the th element here, and the corresponding value is going to be the data that we extract from the td element. Let me go ahead and return stats dictionary. I'm going to capture the return value in the function call within a variable called wi underscore stats over here. Let me just go ahead and display wi underscore stats. Let me get rid of the print function call in line number 12 so that we'll look at the correct output of the dictionary over here. Let's say that we are interested in knowing what is the state beverage for Wisconsin. We can access the beverage key within the wi underscore stats dictionary, which is going to show you that milk is the state beverage for Wisconsin. Let's look at what is the state dance. That's going to be polka if you're familiar with it, and that's what will get displayed when I say wi underscore stats of dance here. The last part of stage 3 is going to be about invoking state underscore stats function for all of the states. I'm going to define a dictionary called states underscore details. We are going to make a dictionary of dictionaries. I'm going to iterate over every state in state underscore files, and I'll have to invoke state underscore stats function by passing the corresponding state file path name as argument. So I'm going to say state underscore files of the state, which is going to be key within the state underscore files dictionary, which we created in stage 2. Let me capture the return value into a variable called stats. I'm going to push individual stats within the states underscore details dictionary here. The key is going to be the name of the state, which is in the state variable, and the value here is going to be stats. Let this particular cell of code run. It's going to take a while because we are parsing 50 HTML files. Meanwhile, I'm going to create a data frame by typing pd.dataframe. Recall that I imported pandas module as pd. Recall that it is very easy for us to convert a dictionary of dictionaries into a data frame. I'm going to capture the return value into a variable called state underscore df here. Let me display state underscore df for you. Observe that we are able to get this particular data frame. Notice that there are a lot of NaN values within the data frame. NaN stands for not a number. That's the representation in pandas data frame when you do not have content for that particular row and column. Despite us putting so much effort to process this particular HTML file content from Wikipedia for individual states, we still end up with a lot more work to do. We are not going to do any further work on this, but feel free to explore how to clean up this data frame on your own. Let's go through a couple of a couple of lookups with the data frame here. I'm going to say states underscore df dot loc of capital in order to extract the capital row series within this data frame. Looks like my data frame variable was state underscore df and not states underscore df. Observe that we are able to extract the row series for the capital row within this particular data frame over here. You can also process the data frame by transposing it by mentioning state underscore df dot t, and that's going to enable you to have rows as the individual states and columns as the corresponding relevant values. You'll be able to extract individual state details by using LOC now. By typing LOC open square bracket close square bracket, let me show you the output for Wisconsin State Series, which is going to have all of this information over here. That will be it for today's lecture. This particular example should have highlighted to you the difficulty of extracting data from HTML file format, and also how difficult it is to clean up in order to generate proper data sets. All of the projects that you go through this particular data extraction or acquisition and cleanup phase. If you're interested in pursuing data science as your full-time job, these are things which you're going to have to learn. That will be it for today's lecture.